episode 2. Hello there, and welcome to the second episode of the STEM in Style Maker series. My name is Takita. I am the founder of STEM in Style and the host for the series. And if you want to find out more about STEM in Style, check out our new Get to Know STEM in Style video, which I will link in the description text. You can also go to our website, steminstyle.com, or you can follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at steminstyle. Now, if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with when we post new content. Optical illusions are a phenomenal area of science, and for thousands of years the neurobiology and the mathematics of them have been explored and studied to help us better understand how the human eye and the brain perceives various perspectives of line and shape and colour and all those components that go into creating the various optical illusions. You will be creating your own wearable op art, and you'll be doing this by weaving a geometric illusion using some of the principles of two-point perspective and contrasting colors or contrasting shades to create a 3D illusion. Please remember to share your creations with us by tagging us at STEM in Style and also using the hashtag #MakeSTEMInStyle. Let's get on with it. Time to find out what you'll be needing. You'll need a crisp packet that's been washed and dried, some scrap card, a ruler, a pen and or a pencil, a craft knife and or scissors, some double-sided tape, and for your jewelry tools, a tailor's awl to make holes, jump rings, some chain or spare chain that you've got hanging around, a clasp and long nose pliers. Let's go. So I like to get started by measuring and cutting everything that I will need from my crisp packet and my scrap card, so you can do that too. To start with, you can measure and cut a 15.5 centimeter by 4 centimeter rectangle from your crisp packet. From your scrap card, you can cut a 14.5 centimeter by 2.5 centimeter rectangle. This card will help to reinforce your bangle or the accessory that you make and can help to give it some shape as well. Please note that these measurements were made to fit my wrist, so feel free to tweak the length or the width of the rectangles that you're cutting out to suit your wrist better. Back to your crisp packet, you will need to cut another rectangle from this that is the same size as your card rectangle. So for me, that was 14.5 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters. This strip will be the backing for your design and just give it a neater finish. Next, you will need to cut the strips, which will act as the weft for weaving your pattern. These strips should be 0.5 centimeters wide and approximately 6.5 centimeters long, and I'd say you want to cut about 17 to 20 of those just to make sure that you've got a few extras in case you lose any. The fashion industry has had some iconic optical illusion moments, like the slimming dress by Stella McCartney, or this spectacular couture dress by Victor and Rolf. On a similar thread to what you're making, designer Issey Miyake has explored the possibilities of creating 3D illusion on flat surfaces, i.e. fabric in this case, and the results are stunning. want to get your 15.5 centimeter by 4 centimeter rectangle and mark the midpoint of it, and then you can fold in the ends so that you get another set of lines marked out that are equally distanced apart, and make a mark on those lines as well. Next, you want to mark out 5 notches on each of these lines that are 1/2 centimeter apart. What I did is started from the center, and then I marked 2 notches above that are 1/2 centimeter apart, and 2 notches below that midpoint notch that are 1/2 centimeter apart as well. Now you want to make a notch or a dot that is 1.5 centimeters from either side of those midpoint notches on each of those lines. This is where you will have to engage your beady eye. As for the marks or the dots that you've made from those midpoint dots, you now want to create another line of 5 notches. This time they are 2 millimeters apart. So 0.2 centimeters or 2 millimeters apart, you want to make these notches from each other. And now it's a case of joining these dots up. As we join these dots up, you may actually start to see how the 2-point perspective is coming into play and starting to create that 3D effect. Now to cut the lines of your pattern that will act as your warp, you may use a scissors or you may use your craft knife. A craft knife is really great for its precision. However, a scissors works just fine as well. And in this video, I'm showing you how to use both. If you are using a scissors as your cutting tool, what you'll have to do is fold your crisp packet along one of the midpoint lines, and then you're going to use your dot-to-dot guidelines to cut along and make those slits along those lines. If you're using a craft knife, line up your metal ruler along the lines that join your dots and carefully use the craft knife to cut along those lines. I actually widened the spaces between the notches on the midpoint line of that third shape just to get a more dramatic 3D effect. Now it's time to start weaving our pattern. Now with your weft strips, you want to carefully weave in and out, alternating whether you start under or over for each weft strip. So I may have got a tad carried away with the outcome of the design at this stage. So yeah, you can see here how I've styled it at this stage, but we will continue. Keep watching so that you can see how to transform this into a bracelet or a cuff. Now it's time to get your scrap card, and what you want to do is put a strip of double-sided tape on it so that this can help to keep your pattern in place when you place it on the card. Next, you'll want to put 2 more strips of double-sided tape on the back of your card. This is so that when you fold over the frayed edges, they can stick to the back. I also put a slit in the corners of the excess crisp packet just to make it a little easier when folding those sides over. Once those edges are folded over and the backing has been stuck to the back, you end up with something like this. Now we've got that cool 3D illusion and that cool 3D effect sorted, we can get to making this into something that we can wear. What you'll want to do is to make a hole on either side of your rectangle, and you want those holes to be approximately 3 to 5 millimeters in from the sides or from the edge, and I guess that depends on how big your jump rings are. And then you can attach your clasp and attach your chain, and then you can wear it. You can roll it up a little if you want it to maintain that kind of curved cuff shape. And there you have it, your 3D optical illusion cuff or bracelet or choker necklace. Thanks for joining me for the second episode of the STEM in Style Maker series. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit that notifications bell. And you can also share your creations on Instagram and Twitter by following and tagging us at STEM in Style. Remember that you can hashtag make STEM in Style as well. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.